Hello, everybody. Today, welcome to our show because today we are speaking about motivation, about energy, and especially the kind of energy that wakes you up in the morning, the kind of energy that drives you somewhere, the kind of energy we need sometimes. And for discussing about this quite amazing topic, I have my amazing co-host, Elle. Hello, Elle.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So I'm Pierre, and Elle is just in front of me, which is amazing. So Elle, motivation, does that speak to you?
Okay, let me just start my narrative and by saying that we I used to watch this commercial. It plays like I don't know every after a show needs to have a break back home in my home country. So it's a coffee actually. It's Nescafe. So it's
Oh,
Nestle. So okay, whatever. Anyway, um, then the concept is why do you wake up in the morning? It's just like that.
because of the Nescafe
Yeah,
coffee.
it's basically saying, why do you wake up in the morning? What's the purpose? And then they show people, waking up to go to their job, to support their family, the farmers waking up early to harvest the coffee grounds, it's like the coffee beans, sorry. Yeah, it's basically that. And then, it's basically saying that they wake up in the morning with the help of Nescafe. Yeah.
Right. So Nescafe brings the the positive energy to them, and they say, "Hey, okay, you don't have motivation? Well, because you can smell the good
Aroma.
yeah, the good
Aroma of a coffee.
aroma taste from the kettle. I don't know how you make that coffee. Maybe
It's
it's
instant
instant. Oh
coffee.
yes, and yeah,
Yeah,
well,
it reminds me so much about our topic for today, mainly because actually it says that the coffee is motivating people to wake up and do their goals for their life or their daily goals in
I
life, which is
see.
it 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 reminds me of a question, but regardless of the commercial, like sometimes you ask yourself, why do I wake up in the morning? Like, what's the motivation behind waking up in the morning?
Indeed.
And I think this podcast was also sparked by us not waking up early or on our desired time, especially you, Mr. Pierre, who despise waking up at 6 in the morning. The average person is happy to wake up at 6. So Mr. Pierre, please elaborate your distaste of waking up late and how sometimes it affects your motivation during the day. So
It
yeah.
does. It will impact the rest of my day. So normally, my goal is to wake up. I mean, I used to wake up for like 7 months every day at 5:17, 17 past 5, and my ultimate goal was to wake up at 4:30, let's say. And now for the past few days, even, I mean, it hasn't been very consistent. So quite often nowadays I wake up at 7, even 8, and this obviously make me feeling bad because I like to accomplish already a lot as soon as I wake up, and time in the morning it's important. However, since winter arrived where we live, it's really cold when we wake up, and I tend to stay longer in the bed because it's much warmer in the bed. And then I fall again asleep, and I probably need more motivation. I need a coffee already ready on my table. However, I have found that if I wake up and go directly to a coffee shop, for instance, it will force me to not going back to bed, the place there will be probably a bit warmer, and it's a kind of little motivation. And the difference of environment there is a bit noisier, people are already awake. That helped me to, I mean, doing that helps me to wake up earlier, but I cannot do that every day. I mean, I could, but not every day, especially also during the weekend. It's different time, but for winter it's harder. During the summer, there was something that was, I mean, I could find something which was quite good for my motivation. It was going to the balcony. And during summer here where Ed and myself live, so we both live in Australia, and summer is hot. So it's easier to wake up. And in my case, when I was waking up in the morning, I was going to my balcony, and it was quite pleasant. Even at 5, it's already really good. But winter is different, and I feel like my motivation is lost during winter. You are speaking about a coffee. Yeah, that helps for motivation.
But not
Food
Nescafe.
as well. Food can help too for
It
motivation.
motivates me.
Sometimes it's a purpose you have, something you want to do in your day. Sometimes, usually it's external. The motivation is external, which can be dangerous. Because if it's external, we rely on something. You are speaking about a coffee. I was speaking about winter, summer, and how winter it's hard for me to wake up again still early. So I rely on the season, the weather. So this is not really good. Although I thought that waking up every day at 5:17 was part of my habit, and yes, I was even sometimes waking up before my alarm. But recently, I think I broke my routine, uh, the chain of waking up every day at the same time. It's like a chain, every day you do it, it's consistent, and as soon as you break it, as soon as you break your habit, you have to rely again on your motivation. And motivation is it's like a mood. It's like being happy or sad. Sometimes we don't know why we don't feel well, and sometimes just before to go to bed, we feel so well. We have a lot of ideas. We are plenty of ambitious. I mean, we are quite ambitious. We feel that everything will be easy, and then we go to bed. And when it's time to wake up, we don't feel motivated anymore. We feel a bit down, and we just want to stay in the bed. And that's the dangerous part.
I think it makes sense, like during the night you feel so motivated. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a lot. I'm gonna be productive tomorrow. Because I read somewhere in the internet, of course, that
Of course.
yeah, that motivation is a microburst of energy. So it's like way before you go to bed. It's like you're having a microburst of energy. It's like, oh yes, I'm gonna do this test that I have to do for this thing that I'm applying, and then tomorrow it's like, wow, the comfort is much stronger than your motivation to wake up and do your goal that you made right before going to bed, which I completely understand. We're all human. I myself, the bed is just, this is just an example. Could be for other things, but not the bed. But it's like, I am somebody who don't whose mood isn't affected by waking up early. It's like, oh yeah, I wake up at 7. Wee I'm proud of myself, because I usually wake up at 9. Anyway. Anyway, 9 a.m.
Yes.
Anyway, so it's just sometimes, I have things to do too. Like some it's nothing for me, but then I still have to do it. But then, sometimes it's just the comfort that the bed provides is really hard to fight off, I would say.
But you are saying, so from a study you read on the internet, that in the evening before to go to bed, and I have the same feeling, we feel more like, okay, everything is possible, life is amazing, and as soon as, I mean, during the sleep, something changes in our brain, or what
Yeah.
happens?
Yeah, I think I've had those feelings too. It's like, you feel so, oh yes, I'm gonna do this and that, and then tomorrow it's like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to do it anymore, which is me all the time anyway. But I think it's just like humans having instincts. It's it's basically like, this is why we're not made good, is what I've been saying. It's like, while humans are just lots of flaws there, here and there, but then I think it's part of that, because it's not only us who's feeling this way, like, wow, motivated to do this and that, and then I'm gonna do this and that, and tomorrow it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not only us, it's for everybody. And eventually, I think when you really have to do something, those motivations, you build them up, and then in the end you make them. Like I think you've had some experiences where you feel a bit unmotivated to do something, but then in the end you finished
Yes.
it, and in the end you feel relieved. And I think you're having a drive, not a motivation. Do you get me? Because
A drive to finish my project.
a drive to finish something, a drive to finish an article, because in the end you feel, like, a motivation is just like, I'm gonna do this and that, and then of course the drive and motivation is both a bit, the line is just too thin to even make a difference, but apparently there is a difference. And motivation is goal oriented as well as a drive, but then in the end with drive you feel relieved, but with motivation it's like you feel pumped.
I see. Maybe motivation is more dynamic and it lasts. It doesn't last for long. A drive, it might last for the whole duration of a project.
That's right. Yeah, I agree with that actually. So, we question ourselves, why do we lose the motivation? We don't lose them. I mean, we do for a moment, but then they
Yeah.
come back for sure. Yeah.
Indeed, but is it still the same motivation? No. Sometimes we have to, well, we have to try to generate motivation. Like sometimes, I feel like all my motivation is gone, and then I have again motivation, but from something or an idea or something else. But to me, it's not the same kind of motivation. Sometimes, I don't know, all of the motivations we have are not equals.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right actually. Because some motivation you could easily like give it up. But then some are like, no, no, I have to do this. I have to go to Iceland. I can't. I'm motivated to go. I have to do this and that. It's like,
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
having a goal of going to Iceland, but that specific goal motivates you.
Yes. So, I think you're right as well. And
I believe seeing progress, like you want to go to Iceland for months and months, and you haven't done any progress. At some point, your motivation will also go down. So if you have progress day after day, you will you will keep your motivation high. But if you have a goal and you don't work on it, or you just see that the progress is too hard, at some point your motivation will disappear or just be less intense.
yeah. So, it's daily lives of being a human, I would say. That some days we're not motivated, some days we are. I've only met one person actually, which is Mr. Pierre over here, that is severely motivated, but is still a bit down when he hasn't achieved what he wants to do, because I surround myself with people who are who are less motivated, which I understand, because
You or myself?
some of my friends,
Yes.
yes, they're like less motivated to do more in life, which, okay, I understand, because I think the an enemy of motivation comfort. This is why the this is why the phrase "go out of your comfort zone" was
Oh,
probably
yes.
made, because you see, it's for everybody. It's like, okay, I'm motivated to do this, but then I'm too comfortable doing that. I think it applies to the bed and to the goal of the day. Actually, it's like sometimes we're too comfortable, which some of my friends are. I understand, and then they're not motivated to do more in life, which I get it too, because I'm somebody who's still finding a goals to motivate me to do more. But then I'm slowly getting there, slowly taking steps to do it. And even for somebody who has a goal in mind, it's really difficult, especially for you, Mr. Pierre, to find motivation to achieve those goals. But for people who are still finding the goal, it's harder. But then
Yes.
slowly we're getting there. Although we're satisfied easily with just doing a small task that would eventually lead to our goals, and
One
to have
step.
motivation, because we're still at the low tier of motivation. I think some people who are just like, yes, pumped, motivated every day, and one day they just don't do anything. It 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 makes them sad, because yeah, it breaks the chain. That's what you said.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what do you think about those things that I just said? Like,
Well, you are absolutely right. And indeed, to accomplish things, you need motivation, because the motivation will bring the energy you need to accomplish those things. So, I want to finish all my side projects, or I want to work on my side projects, or on the goals I have. But to do so, I need motivation to be able to accomplish them. Otherwise, I don't have energy and I don't have motivation to do them. But at the same time, I know that accomplishing them will bring me that motivation as well. So first, I have to trigger something to have that motivation, to be able to accomplish them, because it will give me the necessary energy I need for doing those accomplishments. And I know by doing those accomplishments, after, the engine is working, because I will have the motivation. Since I see the progress in those goals, I have more motivation, and so on. But the hardest part is the initial step. Or maybe when I break the chain again, I have no motivation, so I have no energy. So it's really hard for me to get things done, because no motivation, no energy. The motivation comes when I accomplish those things, but now I don't accomplish them because I have no energy, and the energy relies on the motivation. That's why having habits, and when to brush your teeth, when you brush your teeth in two times a day, you don't really need motivation. When you have your shower, you don't need motivation, because it's part of your routine. And I believe the ideal step is to be consistent, and every day. For me, that's why I want to wake up every day at the same time, because then I don't rely on my motivation anymore to wake up early. It's just the routine. I do that because it is what it is. But as soon as you break the chain again, you have to find a motivation, a reward, something that will bring you the energy you need to move yourself. Um, Sometimes, obviously, we spoke about goals. If you want to go to Iceland, you can have posters, vision boards everywhere. You can set the wallpaper of your phone with a beautiful Icelandic landscape, and then you can do the same for your laptop, on your desktop. But again, you do that for a week, you feel a lot of motivation. But after, if you don't see any progress, your motivation will disappear slowly. So you always have to find something that keep you your motivation awake.
Yeah, but that's the hardest thing. How do we find the motivation, or how do we create the motivation energy? It's a bit difficult. Like, even for somebody who's severely motivated as you is still having a hard time
Yes.
finding how to make the motivation. Do we even make them? Like, what is it anyway? Like, now I'm speaking too much about, now I'm saying the word motivation too much. Now it's starting to not make sense. But it's like,
It's chemical in the brain.
yeah, it could be like, but then you said that when you take a shower, it's a habit, but then
I mean, the motivation is to feel
clean.
clean, to feel, fresh.
Yeah, so we see that we have found the motivation for daily activities or routines, like brushing teeth or taking a shower. But how come with the goals, which gives much more bigger impact for us, we don't find the right motivation every day? It's a bit tricky, I would say. It, like, I am still a bit confused. Well, I've always been confused about, how you motivate yourself, because sometimes I still feel the same way too,
But do you want to be motivated?
Yeah, being motivated feels good, actually.
I believe for everybody, because you feel positive.
Yeah.
And I believe motivation is always good, because when we don't feel motivated, we stay inactive. I mean, we don't do anything. You feel a bit depressed, obviously, because motivation is what makes you feeling alive. And it's like a non-end loop. Like, you are not motivated, then you do nothing, then at the end of the day you feel down, then it's becoming worse and worse.
Yeah. And I think if it's all chemical, then how come our body's not helping us? It's a bit tricky in the end. I myself am still having like a bit of issue with finding motivation, because
But you can, I know how much you love food. So, and we were discussing about it in a previous podcast about why people love food, something like that was the name. And you you said that you were driven sometimes about food, even a lot of times. So you can use food as a trigger to get motivation. You say, okay, I will do that, and then I can buy the pastry I love so much.
see, that's the problem with that. The experiment with kids is like, you know, don't take the marshmallow, the one marshmallow over there. I'll give you 5 after.
Or the marshmallow test.
Yes, that's a bit. Even kids who have no idea what's going on, they depict what adults are experiencing. It's like, okay, you can have, if you do this, you can have a pastry, but why can't I have the pastry now though? Like, that's a problem still. I'm still facing those problems. It's like why can't I have it now? I can afford it, so why not now? So it's a bit tricky. You see,
It's about your
discipline,
persistence. I mean, your yeah. It's to test yourself.
I know, but then tests
You
are
are
hard.
perseverant, and you are able to wait more.
I know.
After you feel proud of yourself. I was waiting a full week before to eat that amazing marshmallow I love so much.
I know, and actually, it feels much better because you finish the thing that you wanted to do, and then you get to eat a pastry. But then it's just
The other way around, if you eat first a pastry, after you say, oh, my project doesn't matter, maybe I want to do it because I already had what I really wanted to have. It's the same if you have your money or your salary before to get the job done. You say, oh, I have my money anyway. So now I don't care about doing the job because I already have the money, I already have what I wanted to have. But if you have the reward after, you say, okay, I have to do this, and then I can take a week holidays. I mean, a week off somewhere. I can have that amazing food. I can go to that amazing restaurant. I can have that amount of money I, I have been waiting for, and so on.
Yeah, but now it makes me think. If we think that way, then the activity is should be the one that's motivating us. Finishing the activity should be the one motivating us, not the reward after, because it feels like the
It should be
project
the activity
is a
itself.
task. Yes, it's like it's a torture, you know. So now we're back to zero again. Like how do we find the motivation? Should it be something we should it be something that we're doing is something that we love? It's like, yeah, for me, if I know how to sew a dress, then the motivation is doing the dress and finishing the dress and looking at the results that you made. That for me is a good motivation. But thinking about having pastry at the end of a task, it feels like the task is torture. And there you go. That's your price for doing the torture.
I
Thank you very
see
much.
what you mean.
Yeah.
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 I mean, ideally, it should be the task itself.
That motivates you. Finishing the task.
Is it intrinsic? Like,
Something that is in you, like
Yes.
something that is within the activity, not outside of the activity that motivates you, because
And not external.
yes, because otherwise you would have like the marshmallow test effect, it's like, why can't I have it now, or why can't I have a pastry now, do the activity and then have a pastry after, it's like, because the happiness is external, outside of the activity, outside of the
So
project.
you will always have to rely on something else, which is a bit like a drug, or you depend on something. But it's the same for the motivation in our day-to-day life. We rely on a motivation. We go to work because of the salary. We are waiting for that for the holidays. We save money to buy that house, and at the end of the day we realize, wow, I do all of this just for that ultimate goal, instead of enjoying now what I do now, the moment now. I always think about the future. Oh, now I hate my life, but I do that for saving money to buy the house. And once you will be able to buy that house, maybe something else will happen, or maybe you will not even enjoy your house, or another problem will come at that time, and after the house you will have to do something else, to do something else, and you will never enjoy the moment. You will always hate your life for the ultimate goal. You believe it will be the dream life, but it will never come to you. So yeah, why to delay the happiness if you can maybe find the happiness now, the purpose
Yeah.
now?
Just like the marshmallow is what I said. So this is why I think that we should be motivated about the project, about the activity, because I think that, yeah, you're right. Some people are just, I'm working to get the holiday now, but some actually don't actually hate their job. It's just okay, which is what I'm at now. Actually, it's just
But
okay.
it's okay enough for
Okay.
life.
It's it's not it's okay for now, but it could be better.
So how can you make it better now?
Well, I thankfully I have two jobs. I'm starting to be not okay with the other one. The other one I'm still motivated because it's a bit funny, but
But is it, you are not, your motivation doesn't come only from your job, it's also from your salary,
yes,
obviously.
obviously, but
It's
then
not like a hobby.
no, which is some people, it's like, doing your hobby as a job is the best. I agree, but just but some said too that doing that can make you hate your hobby.
Yeah,
Well,
that's right too.
it depends. If you take too much of what you can eat, then
It's the
that's
same.
where you're wrong.
Indeed.
But then it's like for me, I dream of making sewing dresses and then selling it. I want to have that kind of job,
On
but
your
then
own pace.
on my own pace. I don't have to be in a hurry. That's where we eat too much. Then that's where we throw up. Is what I meant.
If you are getting paid for eating, then it will be never enough. You would be forced to eat a lot to have enough for your living, and then eating food will be a nightmare.
That's
now
right.
you love eating because no one forces you to
eat. That's right.
and you can choose what you eat as well.
That's right. I think, yeah, it's perfect to have that life, hobbies, getting paid to do your hobbies. But for now, I'm not in that stage. But I'm not miserable with my job. So let's just say that, yes, I am driven, a bit motivated because, with my job, at least I don't hate my job. But I'm getting the necessary reward after I do my job to do for in the future to do the things that I want to do, which is probably having a sewing lesson. I already look it up. I can afford it.
Nice.
Having sewing machine. I can afford it. Buying the fabrics and all the threads. It's working towards the motivation that I want. So it's
So
not
you
that
see
bad.
the progress bit by bit, because I believe if you don't see progress anymore,
Yeah.
then it's when the motivation
Diminish,
to
starts
break.
to go down. Yeah. Also, my parents are coming here now. My family is coming here in Australia, so now I have to pause that motivation, and now I'm motivated to still be rewarded by the monetary amount that I have worked for, to give them a good time here in Australia. So it motivates me to still do an okay job that is, it's not killing me, but it's not the best, but I'm still I'm still willing to do those kinds of things because I want to give them a good time, my family. That sounds a bit weird, but like a good experience here in Australia. So now I'm pausing my other motivation at the moment. I'm focusing on my family
What
coming
will
here.
happen first?
Yes.
So your jobs do the job.
My
Let's
jobs
say.
do the job. That's right. It's not perfect. You see, like not everybody is doing what they want. I think, Mr. Pierre, for you, you feel the same way. It's like you want to do something else, but then
In
you
my
know.
case, yeah, I believe if I do for too long the same thing, like after 2 years, even if I love what I do, I need changes, and like changes will keep me motivated. If I do the same thing every single day, even if I like it, if it's always the same, at some point I will be bored, and this is when my motivation when I will not be motivated anymore, and that's the dangerous part, because I know that then it's not something I love doing anymore, but it's a duty. It's yeah, like
So now you're.
when you are not motivated to do something, you don't enjoy it, and then you don't feel in a happy mood, and that's a problem. So you always have to change the way or the perception. Sometimes it's just about the perception you see what you do, or you just have to change, or to ask, perhaps if it's in a company, to ask to be in a different team, or you have to move to a different company too, because yeah, in my case, changes and new challenges are really important.
Now you found your answer, sir. Like the initial answer of what you've been looking for. I think what you do on a day-to-day basis affects you very much. So I think
That's
you
why
found
it impacts me.
a bit of the answer of what you're looking for. It's the change that you want. It's the excitement of starting a new job is what you want. So I think now you just had to do your part, which is to say that, hey, I want to change team, you know, or it's. I think it will motivate you a bit to to start a different job perhaps, or to start on a different project for your company that is not what you have been doing for the past few years, I think that's the answer for you. I just think, because I'm not you, you know yourself better for sure, but then, you know there you go. I think that's one of the few things that has been demotivating you, I would say.
That's right. Yes.
I could be wrong too, but then let's see.
If I have to feel fulfilled at the end of the day, doing things I enjoy and being able to see the progress and having the reward from it, to me, that's the key of a successful day.
Me, having a cake, waking up, waking up really well rested, drinking 8 glasses of water. This is
That's for your health, it's
Yeah.
not for your happiness, but
I'm
probably
happy actually.
feeling happy
Yeah.
and also being healthy and having not diseases and so on,
That's right.
being in a good shape, it's so important for the motivation
Yes.
too.
It's so important.
We unfortunately tend to forget that some people, they would dream to not have to not be sick, and it's only when we are sick we say, oh wow, actually I was lucky to not being sick. I mean, we shouldn't feel lucky, it should be normal. But yeah, taking care of your body, it's a huge investment for your happiness and motivation in the
Yeah.
long term.
Which is what I'm doing now, actually. I'm much more motivated to eat vegetables. I'm much more motivated to drink water. I'm much, compared to who I was before, I was unhealthy. So I would say, yeah, this motivates me. Being healthy motivates me, Doing number 2 every day motivates me. Sorry, that's too much information, but it's the truth, okay? So, yes, it makes me happy. It makes me motivated to be healthy and just take care of my body. So, yeah, those are the daily things that I'm still hang up on them, but I'm getting well. I'm doing good at it. So, taking care of my teeth.
That's important too.
Never flossed for the past 20 years. I'm disgusting, okay? But yeah, I came from a developing country, whatever. But yeah, now I floss, go to the dentist, I had a cleaning. I feel well, And first and foremost for me, of course it depends on everybody, but for me, having a good body, having everything working well for you, having no sickness whatsoever is motivates me. It's like, wow, I'm healthy. I could do more. So wow, I sound like a motivational speaker now. But anyway,
No, yes, indeed, you look like a motivation speaker.
Yeah.
Sometimes in my case, just to be motivated, I have to watch some kind of conferences, those kind of speech, like motivation
like a
speech.
TED Talk.
I use, well, TED Talk is no, it's not enough. Like usually they speak in a bit in a boring manner. I prefer like Anthony Robbins, his old videos when he used to speak about motivation, and he used to jump on the scene. I mean, like
Stage.
on the stage. Sorry, yes, on the stage, and he was like shouting and motivating everybody. Just to watch this kind of videos, it motivates me so much. Also, watching videos of successful people, and then I feel, wow, I'm just 1% of them. It motivates me to move and to get things done.
There you go. You have another answer. Wow. I think talking about things just helps you find what you're looking for, because I think the answer is just there, but we're too like.
Sometimes we are looking too far,
Yes.
and the answer is just in front of you.
That's right. And I think I've said all my 5 cents. What about you?
Well, I would like to add one more suggestion.
Yeah.
I know it's to myself and to everybody else. I know it, and however, sometimes I still not use that amazing trick. When you don't feel motivated, just move, run, do exercise. It's not because you feel tired, going to the bed will make it worse. When you are tired, what you have to do is doing exercise. Go to the gym, do something that make you active, something that make you moving physically. And after you will feel more motivated. So now I feel down, I will go running in the neighborhood here. I will go to the gym, although I don't go to the gym, but I will go swimming. If in the building apartment I'm currently living, I don't have a swimming pool, but I would do that every time I'm not motivated. I used to do that in the past, and I know it helps me. Sometimes having a shower will also bring you more motivation, especially a cold shower. Or it depends. In the morning, sometimes it motivates you to know you can be in the hot shower. Taking a bath, that's more to feel. I mean, for me, it's a good, well, a good. It's just, I mean, it's a kind of an activity, a bath, to do brainstorming. I mean, to brainstorm about ideas, but it helps me to relax, and sometimes it's a kind of a motivation. You say, okay, now I do this. When I will reach home, once I reach home, I will have a hot bath with a bath bomb, maybe, perhaps. And I know for some people it's watching a movie, for me it's just to accomplish things. But yes, when you feel a bit down, when you don't have motivation, just move and jump. You can just jump like now, or doing some, I don't know, singing. Singing can help you to feel motivated. Sometimes it's just to surround yourself with people, the kind of people that bring the kind of energy you need. And yes,
Yeah.
that's it for me.
I think I agree with the exercise too, because moving releases some hormones.
Oh yes.
I think endorphins, don't quote me on that. But yeah, it releases some hormone that makes you feel really well. So, that's why people become addicted with exercising, because it feels good. Anyway.
And exercising with other people who are doing it every day will help you to do also. Like, some people who run every day, you can just join them. You have some meetup, or if you know some friends, sometimes it helps, because doing it alone is always harder. If you ask them to join them, at least okay, at 5 they will go running. Don't have to be late, otherwise they will wait for me, and at least you depend on something external, but you will do it. If it's just for yourself, a lot of times you just say, oh, I stay in the bed, I don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. But if you know those people are waiting for you, or those it can be friends that are waiting for you outside of the building, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. or at 6 a.m. to be with them, because you are committed yourself to do this every day. It's the same for a job. You won't be late, because if you are late at your workplace, you might be fired. But if it's a side project and you commit to yourself to do that project every day at 8 a.m., well, maybe you won't do it every day. Sometimes you say, oh no, I'm too lazy, I will just postpone it to tomorrow. But why for your job you don't do it? Why for your job you are always on time? Because it's external, and when you commit yourself to others, then you will do it. I know it's much harder to to be committed to yourself. It's much harder to be nice to yourself, actually. If you commit to other people, it's probably how we behave in the society, but alone we don't treat ourselves the same way than with others. If we live alone in our apartment, sometimes we won't do the dishes. We will eat directly in the box. If you eat a pizza, it will be directly, not even on a plate. But if you invite friends, you will treat them in a much nicer way than you treat yourself. So yeah, motivation sometimes is hard when you're alone. So you can use some easy tricks. You can use others in a nice way, obviously, like to go to a meetup, to go to a community, or just to pay. Like I know for some people, they want to lose weight, and just by paying a huge amount of money for a gym, it will motivate them, because otherwise they feel they lose that money. But if it's for free, they won't have the motivation. And yeah, that's it for me. It was just a little bonus.
Yes. Like an accountability partner is what you're saying.
Oh yes,
That's right.
I like the name. Indeed, yeah.
Anyways, shall we? That's it for me. And now I'm hungry, so I'm motivated to eat. Goodbye.
Amazing. See you next time.